gonna go learn edit like a minute later. I don't really like taking breaks, so yep. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. My one viewer. Thank you. Bye. This is about to get very, very, very big. Goddamn, work hard. Work hard, don't waste your time. Subscribe. Okay. Hello guys. Don't mind the room, it's really messy. That is my metal work that I did from trade like last year. That's my humidifier, and past my mic there's like some gummies. Just don't mind that. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. It's been too long since my last video. First thing I want to clarify is my setup, as there is a completely new look to everything. Now, I've always had this LED mat, as you can see, I bought years ago from SteelSeries, along with this mouse and this keyboard, which just wasn't captured in the first video. Back to when I talked about the purchases I made in my introduction video, I told you I made some changes. And those changes were firstly a quality mic, which is right here. This is the Razer Seiren X, and I bought that with this starting microphone arm that also came with a pop filter, which I have right here. Second is the webcam, which you see me from, which was really like a two birds one stone kind of purchase, as it came with a ring light, which is great. It's giving me good lighting. And that is the Razer Kiyo, a webcam with a built-in ring light for lighting and at night. So I really feel a lot of worth in that purchase. Moving on, I had to buy a USB extension cable, which you don't see, to fit and power all the equipment, as I'm using a laptop computer which is not so great to work with. It doesn't have the best specs. So that was about $200 straight to upgrading, as well as these lavalier microphones, if you can see that, which looks to be built with decent quality, but I haven't used it yet. Now that that's out of the way, I want to quickly recap on what I've gone through on my first week during school. So since my first video, I got 0 views on that after 24 hours. I mean, what do you expect from a fresh channel? Anyways, I'm not mad about all that. In fact, I'm excited to be able to talk to you about, in this video, a little bit about my story. Now, the only reason it took so long to just get a basic video with captions and a picture was solely because of the captions. Adding captions for every single word and sentence I said was quite tedious, and unfortunately I had to, as I was recording with a very low quality mic, as you would know, and that didn't even pick up decent quality until like the last 20 seconds of the video. Anyways, the holidays are 2 weeks over. Predicting how long it will take for me to edit and publish this video that you're seeing right now, and I'll be using Premiere Rush for the last time, as I'm still trying to pick up my video software, and we'll be touching on everything I know so far to make the most out of Rush's features before moving on to trying a new video editing software. Now, before we get into the video, I just wanted to touch on the fact that I wrote most of it in a week in advance, but never got to record it until I finished the one in which I am recording now as of August the 2nd. But nonetheless, sit back, ears open, and enjoy. I'm just starting out. I will begin by introducing that my channel is to document my journey to becoming an entrepreneur. I want to be able to put myself and my thoughts out there because I see in myself potential and knowledge that can inspire and help people to conquer their own difficulties on a similar path. I would say I actually begun my entrepreneur journey in 2023, which is pretty late, when I genuinely moved slowly for the first 6 months. Before that, my previous 3 to 5 years were super slow. I never really picked up the flow consistently. I was afraid to step in finance, but believed I could make money online. In 2020, I was in this private school, and in there, my overall experience, as I describe it, would be complacent, wasted, and just a horrible environment that I adjusted to. A year later, after in 2021, I had to move home to rural estate and also change to a completely new school of completely differently minded people. This place was like a new canvas. I never truly felt I belonged in the school because, like I said, I adjusted to the degeneracy and the illusion of chasing external validation from the previous school. I carried 2021 and 2022 with my bad habits, mainly procrastinating and never finding a consistent drive and purpose. Sorry for my dump of emotions. Now we're coming into 2023. In late 2022, in around November, I gained my first access to my own debit card and opened it to an extreme disappointment where I had a couple $100 to work with instead of, well, more. I thought my parents invested more and actually put in good money to set me and my siblings up. Being the older sibling, I was genuinely furious, and I learned that I could barely depend on my parents for financial support. It drove me to take action in December, where I deposited some money and joined the Real World, or Hustlers University by Andrew Tate, to learn and make money. I picked up copywriting and completed the campus until going into a stop just at the finish line, and basically ended up coasting lazily and lost a lot of money, around $400. Yeah, 6 months into 2023, and I would say I definitely did not yield 6 months of progress. I would admit that I do regret not putting in the same workflow as I do now. 2023. Semester 1 rolls around, and it was a completely different challenge once again. I stepped into 2 specifically challenging subjects, physics and mathematics methods, which is like maths on an intermediate level, which both really tested my intelligence and my work ethic as I had poor foundations of learning in both subjects. I will say, I stayed up very late, sometimes until literally 5 a.m. Criticized myself for procrastinating in these tiring times and really felt, well, like a failure. I will say I feel really lucky to have passed both, and now in semester 2, it's giving me a new chance to create some serious progress on the runway. I'll say the changes I felt and made in the past 3 weeks felt more valuable to my life than those 6 months of semester 1. Let me explain to you why. After all that hassle from my parents about my D's in tests and assignments in physics and maths, I pulled through and barely made it to some peace in my room to think and plan my next semester. The first week of the break was the first week where I felt I really wasted the most time, but it allowed me to get down some foundations for picking up workouts again. The second and third week was when really something just clicked together. All the due work, all the environments of racing the due dates, seeing people procrastinate just like me and suffer the consequences. I suffered too, but it was the push I needed to make another big step. In the second week, I found myself seeing the worth in waking up earlier, with the goal to wake up consistently at 5:30 a.m. and have a strong routine, which I have achieved using Alarmy and Trello. Major credits to Aman. I solidified my workouts since those weeks, so now they are optimized as best as I can for up to an hour session. I found Ruff's channel, and Iman began airing his Remote Revolution series, where I learned a lot to evolve my perspective further. In creating my routine, I stepped closer to God through prayer and fasting. I also started comparing myself with the people around me to gauge my progress and to work harder, smarter, and faster. I also completed my first book of financial education, being Rich Dad Poor Dad, in which this video would probably not exist without me answering a specific chapter question and realizing the answer I had in my mind was worth more news as an in-depth video for my channel rather than an answer to a question. Another thing I found was what I called the sinking ships observation. Prioritizing time for myself and being more obsessed with routine, I realized that the circle I counted on for people to grow with me was not as secure and as competent as I may have thought. Sure, I changed, and I'm not seeing every second of their lives. But observing not responding to these people for a week on private group chats and DMs, as well as what they were doing with their break and how they presented themselves a week back to school, helped me to learn this. I depended on sinking ships to sail with me, and I simply chose from every day forward to move and mind my own business and let these people lead themselves whatever direction in which they acted, if not to me, that they were sinking. Sorry to open up so quickly, but this just really felt like such a big change in compounding form that I wanted to share it with you all. I felt I finally took another monumental step towards my planned successes. I felt the first of an inflection point, a point in my life where I truly completed the turn and now am on a new direction. I quit giving my energy to games, to mindless content on YouTube. I quit making excuses for why I couldn't use my time and took accountability. And I truly started aiming to value my time and have gratitude for having an entire day to dedicate solely to work. I prioritized myself, routine, and my time. I literally programmed my mind to not feel stress in work and just think about planning my time, having a smooth routine, evaluating from mistakes and learning, and moving with speed. Now, I got to give my credits to two people who I believe played best to my sudden change. Ruff and Iman Gaji. You guys probably recognize Iman more than Ruff, and I completely understand. Just to clarify, Ruff is a small growing YouTuber in Malaysia that I discovered on my feed, and just these videos in particular, naming how I studied 2 hours a day, don't tell your friends about self-improvement, why my grades don't matter, realistic day in the life of a student on self-improvement, I'm no longer on NoFap after learning this, and I don't want to be average. These videos changed a few perspectives to unlock a limitless drive and hunger in me to just work and create comparative competition among me, Ruff, and Iman. Let's make this clear though again. I have only just started. It's the 7th month of 2023, and I'm sure you guys and girls have taken more progress than me as the audience I'm aiming to have. My documented changes are only recent, and I'm not sure if you have the same school break as me, but mine started from the 3rd to the 24th of July, which is 3 weeks to relax and get ready for next term. These changes so far have only lasted 4 weeks, and this break has given me the space to place a foundation and start moving, but I'm worried about something else. My following month, August. Long story short, I would say I'm only actually picking up the proper speed right now, when I'm 16 and 11 months old, basically 17 years old. And it's the 7th month of the year, and I would only consider this the first month of me actually starting to put in the work. Comparing myself to Iman and Ruff, I know I got a lot of work to do, and it's just one of the gears that amplify my drive. I'm also just picking up other responsibilities like getting my driving hours and getting ready to handle school assignments and homework, which I've gotten 2 already. During my 2nd week of my break, I transferred about 1,000 into my account, which was all my liquid savings prior to banking it. And then on the same day, I ordered roughly $300 worth of computer equipment as desk upgrades and another $300 of personal items, all fairly justified purchases. I expect August to be a month of big adjustments and nerve-wracking work, with good reason. I don't have much time at all, but here's my next month's events so far. My birthday is coming up on the August the 8th, and I know that the coming weeks to that day, I have to handle up with setting up new equipment I ordered and then learn how to use lots of video editing softwares. I have to adapt to the time taken away from me by school to get my assignments and work done very, very quickly. I have to adapt to not hesitating and getting distracted while I work out in the morning, and finally start picking up an income and learning business skills. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to say it again, I'm just starting out. But one thing I want you to take from this is I want your feedback and support on this journey. I absolutely respect constructive criticism as I am very new to the content creation game. Over time, I am planning to include multiple video formats to make the videos a bit easier to watch, like intros, outros, edits, better transition, basic overlay, etc. I got to put up with school taking away basically 8 hours of my time. I also got to put up with school taking up basically 8 hours of my time, which is really going to reduce my work output towards the channel and my career. I'll try my best to keep my promise to begin uploading once a week, documenting my life, expanding my content, and bettering myself as well. Okay, that's the end of the video. I hope to learn a lot more from myself. I hope that you from this video have learned a lot more of who I am in your mind. I hope to build a community on this channel where you all interact and give me feedback so I can adjust and make better content for you. Please subscribe, like the video, and comment because I really appreciate your support and interaction on this channel as I start. I'll see you next time. Okay, that's the end of the video. I hope to learn a lot more from myself. Oh my god, I hate... Why don't I just improvise? Why don't I just improvise all of this? Like, oh my god.